Hello, and we are back here for the Great Lakes Cup Series presented by Butt Kicker. And here we are at Kansas Speedway for the Everyone Loves Walmart 125 here on Split Second Broadcasting. I'm here in the booth with Gavin. How you doing tonight, Gavin?
Not too bad. I missed last week due to some, or not last week. I missed a couple weeks ago due to some stuff. Looking forward to get back at it here.
Thank you, Gavin. Always great to have you up here in the booth. And then Alex will be joining us on pit road once he parks his car. He's currently running over to the pit road right now. Our Michael Wall trip. We're gonna go green flag racing here soon. Kansas Speedway. Should be a lot of fun. 125 laps at this multi-groove racetrack. Always love coming to Kansas because it's a lot of strategy when it comes to tires and fuel.
Yeah, Kansas is a really interesting track. Kansas is definitely one of my favorite mile and a halves. Depending on how the race goes and how the grooves in the track state and everything, you might end up having a two groove racetrack here, which obviously a lot funner than a regular one groove track.
It's always a lot of fun. It always changes up throughout the run. We'll see if maybe that high lane comes into play. I expect the beginning of the run at least to be mainly dominated on the low side of the racetrack. On the pole though today, Zachary Henry, a very impressive qualifying run, needing to have a good run here today to get himself farther up in the points. And on his outside, Phil Bedford, who's been really good in every qualifying session, but been a little spotty throughout the races this season, looking to get a good finish today.
Yes, sir. Just listening in here, we've got some conversation going on here with Matt Daniels and Elliot Henderson about the current races. Obviously, last race at Kentucky, we had a good amount of early race cautions. They're all trying to avoid that this week, obviously. Hoping for a long green flag run early here. Just looking at the qualifying stats right now, we have a couple of like DNQs here that are definitely a little interesting. RJ Williams, Daniel Nanny, Spencer Dickinson, Travis Broder, new to the series this race, Scott Stewart, Frederick Kermeen, Shane Neiswanger, Aaron Duclos, and Kyle Munson, all not qualifying this race. Interesting strategy. What do you think they're up to?
125 laps. Like I said, the lanes really come in later in the run. So these guys might be just trying to avoid possibly early race madness and also possibly hoping on a long run, really relying on those tires. But this should be a lot of fun as the pace cars pulled onto the racetrack. Row number one, like I said, on the inside, you have Zachary Henry. And then on the outside, you have the number 20 of Phil Bedford.
Coming into the second row here, you got Josh Cottle on the inside, followed by the 25 of Brandon Barkowski on the outside.
In the next row, you have newcomer Connor LaFrance. And on the outside, you have Nick Martin.
Following that up in 8th and 9th position, you have Nathan Nicholson and Austin Moore.
In the next row, you have Elliot Henderson. Always fun to watch him. And then Hunter Madalinas.
Followed after that, the 54 Twiggy Chevrolet of Merrick Watchhorn. To the inside of Matthew Daniels in the Casey Kane number 5 throwback.
And that really colorful 03 on the inside. You have Jacob Bransky. And then on the outside, you have Drew Cox.
On the next row, you have Mark Brannigan Jr. making his debut tonight. To the inside of Lewis Woodall in the 13. Or pardon me, the 29.
And then surprisingly, not a very strong qualifying run from Christopher Heller back here. And then on his outside, you have Brandon White.
Following them out, you have Tyler Greneau also making his debut series in the 81 Craftsman Ford, followed to the outside by Jacob Hayes in the 9.
In the next row, you have Talon Pelfrey. I think this is his debut as well. And then on the outside of him, you have RJ Williams.
In the next row, you have the 45 Ryko Racing Chevrolet of Daniel Nanny, followed by the 6 of Spencer Dickinson.
You have Travis Browder back here, who was very quick in practice, and you have Aaron Duclos, Kyle Munson, Scott Stewart Jr., and Shane Neiswanger round out your field. We're about to go green flag racing as the pace car is about to pull off, coming off turn 4. Zachary Henry is going to lead him down to the green flag in that orange and white number 39. Green flag is out here in Kansas. Good start from the 39.
Good start there from the 39. Obviously, he's trying to get out to a bit of a lead. We saw him do this at Kentucky. He was very strong there in that next-gen car. Obviously, able to transfer the qualifying success over. And in a situation almost identical to last week, Phil Bedford is right there with him.
Look at Brandon Barkuski in the number 25 Miller Lite machine. He's right there. He's watching these guys up front. Interested to see what his strategy might be. And then Josh Cottle there in the number 31.
Yeah, as Phil looks to make a move to the outside, that's just right there. This is probably going to be the first pass made on the outside, demonstrating to you how strong that top line will be throughout the whole race there.
Here comes number 91 of Austin Moore, making a great move under Cottle, almost contact off of 2. They keep it straight. Elliot Henderson going to follow him behind.
Austin Moore up 3 positions already on the start. Good start from him. Zachary Henry about to lose second position to Brandon Barkuski. And now he's under the gun from Austin Moore as that 25 sets his sights on Phil Bedford, looking for a bit of a rebound this race after a unfortunate finish last week.
Third on back, looking like Talladega almost right now. Everyone's real racier at the start of this race. They're 3 wide coming off of turn 2 with the number 19 in the middle, and then the outside you have Josh Cottle.
Oh, as it looks like Josh Cottle there didn't get exactly how he wanted into the corner, and he seems to lose the car a little bit. As now, here comes Merrick to his inside.
Look at Austin Moore up there. He's making a move for the second spot. Austin Moore needing a great run here today. He's trying to clear Barkuski possibly here off turn 2. He's shown a lot of speed, but hasn't had the finishes to show for it in the number 91.
You know, Austin Moore came into Great Lakes last season. The Truck Series was very strong there, almost made the final 8 at this very track until he got spun out, coming, I believe it was within 10 to go, battling with Hunter Madalinas for the transfer spot in the playoffs. Watch out for him. He's very strong here.
Everyone's beginning to calm down a little bit, but Austin Moore is still fighting hard to try to take that second spot. He knows he's faster than Barkuski. He might just be pushing it a little too hard, might be using up them tires, as the high lane seems to be the stronger lane right now.
Yeah, as Austin seems to have, maybe abandoned that charge a little bit, and we'll move to the high side. But here comes Merrick Watchorn to his inside. He's going to try and slot up in with Zachary Henry. Zachary will get to his quarter panel. That's not going to work. Merrick Watchorn on an absolute charge right now, up 6 positions. Make that 7 as he makes a pass on Zachary Henry, as tries to make a pass on Zachary Henry, can't quite clear him. He is hard charging his way up to the front right now.
Merrick Watchorn was the quickest driver in practice. Elliot Henderson's up in the wall on the 37. Great save from Elliot, able to keep it straight, and they're stacking up behind him. Nick Martin, Jacob Bransky right there behind him.
Chris Heller also up 7 positions. He's also been hard charging as it stands right now. Oh, pardon me, never mind, as Heller overtakes Jake Bransky. Chris Heller currently earning an extra bonus point for being up 8 positions. Make that 9 positions as he continues to go forward.
Like I mentioned, a very surprising qualifying run from Christopher Heller as he started in the 17th position. I expected him to start up here near the front, but he's making moves really quickly as he's already in the 8th spot, and Austin Moore almost hits the wall. Oh man, Austin Moore keeps it straight somehow, and Merrick Watchorn, great job to keep it off of him. They're all going to go by him on the outside. It's going to be like a freight train up there.
Good catch from Austin here, seeing if he can rebound. He's got Chris Heller behind him now, also trying to make that inside line work, as I don't believe it will, as he's going to get beat to the outside by the 19 of Connor LaFrance.
These guys are really battling it out back here for around the 6th and 7th spot. Elliot Henderson has made us some time ever since hitting the wall. Good recovery from him as he's going to try to clear Austin Moore on the outside right here and move into the 6th spot.
Yeah, just getting a quick word with Alex. Alex, any word on that damage on the 37?
Not so far. Yeah, he seems to still be in a good position even with the damage, and it doesn't seem like he's losing a significant portion of lap time because of it. So we're looking to see that he'll be all right here.
caught up in the back there. Hunter Madalinas touched the wall and lost a good amount of positions, as he's now under fire from Drew Cox and Josh Cottle looking to his inside. He lost a lot of momentum because of that.
Merrick Watchhorn, he sends it into turn 1 on Barkuski, and he's going to clear him. Great move from Watchhorn. Like Brandon might have given up and given him the spot, as we're still very early on in the run. That number 25 car looks strong, but the 54 car looks even stronger.
Oh, is Nick Martin in the wall back there as you catch you in the back of the camera? That goes back to what I was talking about, or what they were talking about early before they got off pit road. Elliot Henderson was talking about how it's a long race and you got to give and take a lot. That's what's going on right now. Lots of give and take. Brandon not going to put up a fight. There's no point. He's got a bit of a hole right now in the points. He's trying to dig himself out. Why put yourself at risk as we take a look at RJ Williams making his moves up towards the front.
Yeah, RJ Williams, one of those drivers that did not qualify. He's already making some moves trying to get up to the front. He's already up 6 spots. And then number 21 machine, always expect a lot of speed out of that number 21 of RJ Williams.
Yeah, that 21, always a threat week in and week out in this series to win. He's currently sitting second in points behind Chris Heller. He's hoping for a good run today. Hopefully, have a good run, maybe take the W and take a good bite out of Heller's points gap. As it's a relatively short season here in the Cup Series, especially when compared to looking at the Truck Series. You gotta go. It's only a 12 race schedule compared to the Truck Race's 22 race schedule. You gotta think long term. This is the halfway point of the season. We're halfway through the season. Heller's got a pretty big points gap, and it's starting to show here.
Well, that was going on. There's a lot of battling going up for second place. Barkuski and Watchhorn keep on switching the spot back and forth, as Watchhorn almost was able to take the lead from Bedford. But Bedford checked up a little bit off the corner, and Watchhorn wasn't expecting it, and they got Barkuski right back there. And then look at the 39. Here comes Zachary Henry on the outside of the number 25 of Barkuski.
Zachary Henry there saved his tires on that start, I think, a little more than everyone, as he didn't drop too far to the back, but he did drop back a little. I wonder if that's that tire saving game coming into play here.
Oh, and the Francis hard into the wall. It makes a great save in the number 19 machine. Bransky avoids him, and Nick Martin to the inside. Austin Moore right behind him. Great save from the number 19 machine in that Martin Truex picnic machine.
Yeah, that 19 car making his debut race here for Tire Track Racing, along with the 88 of Mark Brannigan, the number 14 of Austin Gacklone, and the 81 of Tyler Greneau, a new team here entering the Cup Series.
Yeah, they're already making some noise here, as a lot of them are really quick in practice, especially that number 18 of Travis Browder. I'm surprised I haven't seen him make more moves to the front so far. He's already only up 4 spots, as he's almost into the wall right there in front of Lewis. Surprised not to see him move up too many spots yet. I see a Brandon White fan in the chat. Brandon White is currently in the 19th spot, needing a good run in the number 86 machine. Driving a very beautiful, I think, William Byron type of scheme. A fantasy scheme of sorts.
Yeah, as I believe, oh no, pardon me, I believe Scott Stewart started in the pits, my apologies. But, I believe that 86 car has been at almost every one of these Cup Series events, trying to, feel it out, get a good feel for the series, hope for a good second half of the year from him.
Pretty calm up near the front right now. A driver that's been two drivers that have slowly been making their way through the field is the number 37 of Elliot Henderson and the number 11 of Christopher Heller. But I'm not surprised at all. These two guys are always in the thick of things here at the end of these races.
Yeah, it ain't over till it's over. We're not even 25 laps into this race yet. It's only lap 20. As always, there's a wreck off of turn 4, guys. We're gonna get a look at that, I assume.
Looks like Jacob Hayes is in the grass. Winner Tuesday.
Nathan Nicholson with some front end damage there, as Hayes is stopped in the grass, as he'll get that 9 Rocket Race Wraps car going again.
Jacob Hayes able to continue on in that windshield deep machine. Looking to get a replay on the incident between him and Nathan Nicholson, possibly some others involved.
Obviously, Hayes there coming off a fantastic run at Bristol Dirt Tuesday in the trucks is getting a quick replay here. Getting a look at it here. Coming off of turn 2 here, we're going to get the whole span of the replay as you see Hayes move up there into that high line, but in front of teammate RJ Williams. Look here, it looks like, oh, he just got put between a rock and a hard place there between Matt Daniels and RJ, and Nicholson with poor Nathan with nowhere to go. Tried his best to avoid it, and that's
the most mangled Coke can I've ever seen. That 47 car is destroyed after that. You got to feel for Nathan Nicholson, was just sitting there minding his own business, and the number 9 car comes flying across the track. Very unfortunate incident for the number 47 and Jacob Hayes, like you said, coming off a great run on Bristol Dirt, getting the victory on Tuesday night.
Yeah, that wasn't that. Those are the worst ones to swallow, like the worst pills to swallow, because really, that wasn't anyone's fault. It was really a freak accident. He really just got way. I think he probably thought he was clear off of Matt Daniels and just got into the back of him and didn't want to take RJ out as well, so he just hooked it right into the wall. But I don't know, but really caught between a rock and a hard place there.
It looks like we have a little bit of strategy on this caution flag as the top 9 guys stayed out. Everyone else came down pit road. Alex, what do you think is the thought process here?
Well, this track may not be ridiculous on tire wear, however, the setup today is pretty tight, especially in dirty air and running the line these guys are running. They may be carrying momentum, but they're putting a lot more wear into those tires. So I imagine everybody just wants to make sure they have fresh rubber to make the moves they can, especially since a lot of people likely made mistakes and killed their tires in the process.
It looks like we possibly even had some guys that took only two tires. You have RJ Williams and Drew Cox, Josh Cottle, Travis Browder, a couple of these guys up here.
Yeah, I feel like in the Great Lakes Series here, we've been seeing some 2-tire strategy calls a lot more. And, RJ obviously and some of those guys not qualifying, part of me wonders why the 2 tires? Why not just completely stay out? But you never know. I guess RJ's a pretty good strategist. He probably has something up his sleeve here.
If they took good enough care of those tires on those early laps, those left side tires could possibly only be at like 99%, 98%. That's not a huge fall off. It might make your car a little uncomfortable the first couple of laps, but once you get through those first couple of laps, they should be smooth sailing.
Yeah, as like I was saying earlier, or as you said, sorry, for the first couple laps of a run, those 2 tires are pretty uncomfortable. But once you get your feet under you and the temperatures even out a little bit, it comes a lot easier to drive, and you get the track position. As we've seen here that once the cars get going, it's really hard to pass. Is that inside line hasn't quite come in yet, and the outside line's been pretty dominant. So it's just all about corner entry and slide jobs and your tires, and it's just a lot to keep track of. So we'll see how the strategy pans out for those guys.
It seems like it's really been about picking your moves at the right moments and a little bit of give and take as well out there here in Kansas as we're about to go green flag racing. Phil Bedford has chosen the high side here. Watcher on his inside. A great restart for Bedford. Barkuski and Heller and Nick Martin all right behind him. Great restart from those high side guys as all 3 of them might clear Watchhorn going into turn 1.
That's what I was saying about that high line is it showed right there. And Merrick just down really not the sucker hole per se, but dropping back is all those 25-11 cars look to make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, and Merrick's trying to hang tough with them.
Merrick's really looking tough. Like I said, he was the quickest in practice, and we've seen his strength throughout the season. That 54 looking to get a victory here today. He's fighting tough on that inside. He hasn't given up that second spot yet to Barkuski.
Yeah, it's Merrick really. I've been talking to Merrick, and he really wants this cup win, obviously.
Oh, and there's a wreck on the backstretch.
The 86 car involved.
Oh, man. Brandon White. You hate to see it. Some damage to the 86 car.
There's words being exchanged over the microphone as there's the 5 of Matt Daniels, who also looks like he could possibly be involved.
That 86 car actually looks pretty good. It doesn't look like it has too much damage to me. I think he should be able to continue on. Matt Daniels has a little bit more damage than number 5, as we're going to get a replay here. Wreck going on behind Matt Daniels right there on the front stretch.
I believe
Not sure.
that was the replay of Hayes, I believe, from earlier. As here we go. As it looks like Matt Daniels and the 86 there. And that's a big wreck there. I believe that's the 55 on his roof, and it's a lot of wreck avoidance. As Spencer Dickinson just barely squeaking by those two wrecked race cars right there. As those new tires, they're cold and loose, and that just seems to be the issue here, is getting another angle of it. I believe Matt Daniels just gets loose. Yeah, Scott Stewart, I believe, in the 86, and Matt Daniels, they just make some contact there, and the 5 hooks into the 55, and Hunter Madalinas there in the 17 swerves to avoid and gets caught across someone's bumper.
Disappointed to see the number 86 of Brandon White out. Hasn't really been able to catch too big of a break this season. Then number 55, Talon. Welcome to the Great Lakes Cup Series.
As the 17 and the 18 there got a little involved with each other trying to avoid a wreck, as Hunter went low to avoid, and there was just no real room.
Here, looking at the replay, the number 55 of Talon. See what happens here. It looks like just contact between Daniels and White, and a huge ride for that number 55 machine. Someone get him a paper bag.
Look at the 81 just squeak out Spencer too. Wow. I'd love an onboard of the 81 there, as he looked like he just drove like right through that. He's getting a look here. The Spencer here. Just watch Spencer Dickinson just drive through this wreck. Because obviously there's the spin. Sees it in front of him, sees someone flipping, backing it down, backing it down, backing it down. Smoke, 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 as you just barely see the 55 there at the last second start to squeak back up the track. And good on Spencer there for avoiding that possible race-ending collision.
A great job by Spencer Dickinson getting through that accident. A lot of drivers with a lot of close calls, including that number 81 of Tyler Grennett. Very close calls for a lot of these guys. Still very early on in this race, still have around 100 laps to go. Most drivers stayed out. A couple of guys decided to come down pit road, as we're going to go green flag racing, it looks like this time. And it looks like Bedford has actually chose the inside this time. Questionable decision here, Gavin.
Yeah, just taking a quick look at it here, it just looks like he wants his teammate and Chris Heller behind him. My guess here is, there's going to be a hand out the window here to Chris Heller when he's going to go, and Heller will hopefully, if all goes according to the plan here, I'd imagine, Heller will probably push Phil up in front of Brandon and hopefully clear himself and make it that 25-11 1-2-3 right there.
About to get the green flag here.
Just a quick interesting note, sorry to cut you off there. Christopher Heller currently in position for biggest mover of the race.
And the green flag is out here in Kansas. Bedford and Barkuski. Barkuski was ready for that restart. Good restart for the number 25 machine. Watchhorn didn't seem too ready. And same thing with Nick Martin, but Christopher Heller almost bump drafting Bedford coming out of the tri-oval here in Kansas.
Yeah, it looks like as I suspected, Heller and Phil are going to clear Brandon and scooch up, as unfortunately Nick Martin there didn't get that chance. As it looks like Elliott giving Nick a little shove into the corner there.
Everyone's able to keep it straight. These restarts have been very crazy so far here in Kansas. Barkuski and Watchhorn. Watchhorn going to jump to the outside. The 54 of Watchhorn going to be on his outside coming into turn 1. Merrick looking really strong today.
Yeah, Merrick just like a dog in that outside line will not let go, as Brandon now out of line down the sucker hole, gonna pop up here behind Elliott Henderson, who has also been slowly lurking and making his way back through the field.
Craziness back there on your screen. You see Nick Martin back there with Bransky, and they're gonna make it 3 wide here. Drew Cox on the outside, Daniel Nanny on the inside, almost 4 wide for a second there. And contact, Bransky, Drew Cox. They keep it straight. Cox is up in the wall, it looks like.
And a good catch there from Drew is, you know, obviously some right side damage, but that could have been much, much worse. Is getting a look here as we see RJ beginning to make his way back to the front here. Obviously up to 9th. You know, he's moved up 13 positions.
Watching the battle for second, Christopher Heller and Elliot Henderson continue to make moves to get to the front. Heller really drove it into one hard there.
As it looks like Merrick is going to clear Elliott and get into, I believe that is 4th position. Pardon me, that's 3rd position. As Phil Bedford probably loving what he sees in the mirror. And look at that, 43, I believe.
45 of Daniel Nanny.
45 of Daniel Nanny, up to 2nd. What? Hello? Up
Daniel
21. Daniel Nanny up 21 positions. He is making a hard charge in that 21 car, or 45 car. I don't know where I got 21 from.
Daniel Nanny driving a lot quicker laps than some of these guys because he's on fresh tires. All these guys haven't taken a set of tires yet. Nanny took tires at lap 20, and he's going to go flying past Bedford, and he's going to lead a lap here at Kansas.
Wow, what a charge from Daniel there in that 45 Ryko Chevy. He is flying here, as hopefully now he's going to put a bit of a gap here between Phil Bedford, the native of Clinton, racing for Defiance. Just wow.
Great moves from Nanny. I'm not all that surprised. We've already seen that from Daniel Nanny so far this year. He's able to make these huge runs through the field.
Yeah, Daniel Nanny, one of the strongest guys in the leagues here between the Truck Series and the Cup Series. Obviously, he's the reigning Cup Series champion. So, good to see the champ returning to form.
You see the battle here between Elliot Henderson and the number 21 of RJ Williams. RJ Williams only took 2 tires on that last stop, but he's making it work to his advantage as he continues to move through the field as he's trying to take that 5th spot away from Elliot.
That's what we were talking about with it, with taking that time there to get in, or pardon me, that's what I meant when I said that it takes time for that 2-tire strategy to set in. And you know, RJ is extremely patient, and that's showing right here. Is, you know, he put 2 tires on, he didn't overdrive the car, he wasn't too aggressive, and now here he comes charging as Christopher Heller gets a little loose off the corner, and oh, there's going to be a wreck as Elliot Henderson gets into Merrick Watchorn as he goes down into the apron. What a save by the 54.
Oh my goodness. He didn't hit the bottom wall. I thought his day was done.
And here they come 3 wide through the tri-oval there with Elliott. Looks like it's about to be 4 wide. The 86 involved in that last caution sees an opportunity and pounces on it, and so does the 40 car. What a turn of events. Where did half of these guys come from? Kyle Munson out of nowhere.
I've been watching that 86 the last couple of laps. Brandon White, I was saying how it's so disappointing because he's had so much bad luck this year. But like I said, he didn't get that much damage from the wreck. He got 4 fresh tires on that pit stop, and now he's all of a sudden up here in 4th. And look at Kyle Munson. Kyle Munson's up in here in 2nd place.
What a drive from the 86. RJ, obviously, that incident helping RJ out immensely is now he sets the gun on the 40 car and will take the spot away from Kyle Munson. But what a turn of events.
My bad on that. Munson was actually in the 30. He turns him. Oh,
RJ Williams around.
Oh, RJ Williams doing his X Games impersonation.
Big wreck for RJ.
Oh my goodness, you hate to see it from RJ Williams. He was running so well. Oh man, that was a nasty wreck. Looks like Munson looked like he came up off the corner and thought he was clear of the number 21, but just hooked him a little bit, and that was just enough for RJ Williams to go spinning around the Hickory native. And that's a day done early for the number 21 machine as he heads to the garage. We're going to try to get out a replay for you. We're going to try to show you what happened between Merrick Watchorn and Elliot Henderson. We're going to show you that fantastic save that Watchorn made on the inside of the track. I don't know how this wasn't a caution right here. I thought they were all going to wreck. Look at Watchorn down there.
What a save. What a save by Merrick. And that's a bit of net code right there between Elliot and Heller. As Merrick, just what a save. I bet Merrick's extremely happy with this caution. He gets to come down, fix the damage, four fresh tires. And there you go. what a save. Oh, as yeah, he saw the nose going towards that inside wall and just really wanted to get the tires spinning. It was good, quick reactions from Merritt, saving his whole race right there.
Yeah, I didn't know how he didn't hit the inside wall. Now you're watching RJ Williams here as he's going to go for a ride, and the number 21 machine just gets hit there and then just goes flying. Looks like he gets hit by Jacob Hayes, our Bristol Dirt winner. And you hate to see it in the number 21 machine. RJ Williams has been so strong all season long. RJ Williams, he came into this race second in points to Christopher Heller. This is definitely going to hurt him.
Yeah, as RJ right there just, yeah, locks it down. I believe that's Josh Cottle and Hayes who hit him right there, as you see Spencer Dickinson locking it down on the inside there. Is just really, RJ did nothing wrong there. As you see here, is it you know, I don't even know if the 40 touched him right there. That was, maybe if we get a bit of a better angle, could have been netcode, could have been RJ just getting loose off the corner, and oh yeah.
Great job by Brandon White as well, not getting freaked out and just keeping his car straight. It's just really hard to tell from that angle if the 40 actually hit him or not. From the way the 21 reacts, you would think it's at least netcode.
Yeah, just taking a look at just how the car acts, it looks like a bit of a collision off the corner. You know, RJ obviously pulled the slide job. Maybe the 40 was trying to give him a bit of a push, and it just caught RJ at the wrong angle here with that bumper hook. As you see everyone else going by. You're going to get a good angle right here as RJ makes the slide job pass, and yeah, there's definitely some contact there with the 40 and the 21. Just a tough break there for RJ.
A very tough break for RJ. He's looked so strong here today and all season long. And like I said, there's no playoffs here in the Cup Series, so it's going to be really difficult for him to make up that points gap. He needs someone like Christopher Heller to have a bad day here today. But Christopher Heller's looked pretty good here today. But he's in the back now when it comes to strategy because he just took 4 tires in that machine.
Yeah, as we
and
see
repaired some damage.
Matt Daniels up there going to get the wave around this time as well. But, you know, those guys who came in for 2 tires, they're set right now. Like Daniel Nanny and all them. Now, Daniel Nanny gained an extreme amount of track position because of that strategy, along with Brandon White. And, you know, now it paid off. They're on a fresh 4 set of Goodyear Eagles. Same set of tires as everyone else. Same fuel windows. Same everything. Now it's just going to come down to just the racing, the strategy. As the lights go out on the pace car and we're getting ready to go. Daniel Nanny electing the top line here is just what a turn of events here. And we're not even halfway through.
Yeah, Daniel Nanny came in on that lap 20 caution and went flying through the field. And then Brandon White, like I said, honestly, that him getting wrecked on that caution was honestly his savior because that gave him fresh tires and he all of a sudden just drove through the field like everyone else was standing still, and now he's up here in second spot, and they're both on the same tires. They're both on equal tires right now, Nanny and White and Bedford and Bransky, all these guys up here.
Well, I feel it's excuse me for interrupting, but it's important to note that both Daniel Nanny and Brandon White had taken 2 tires, I believe, as their pit stops were 6.5 seconds and 9 seconds, respectively.
Very interesting call to take the 2 tires as these 2 guys are already in front of the rest of the field. So very interesting call on the 2 tires. We'll see how it works out for Nanny and Brandon White as they start here on the front row. The pace car is about to pull off. Nanny has decided on the high side. The green flag is about to wave for the number 45 machine and the number 86 of Brandon White. Green flag is out, and Nanny gets off to a good restart. Brandon White and Bransky not too far behind.
Fantastic start there from Daniel as he's going to hopefully get a good gap here on the 03 and in the 86 right there as they're going to battle and hopefully build a good amount of distance there. As the 86 looks to make a clear move here, will he do it? He does. He'll clear Jake Bransky, and now we'll set his sights there on the 45 cars. Here he comes to the inside. Scott Stewart trying to take the lead. Will he do it? He will. Scott Stewart to the lead at Kansas.
Brandon White in the number 86 has taken the lead. My bad about that. Brandon White in the number 86 machine has taken the lead, and he's led his first lap of the day, and that'll give him a point. Bill Bedford takes the lead back, and here comes Barkuski all of a sudden in the number 25 machine looking strong.
Yes, my apologies there, as I got the cars mixed up. 86 has now fallen back. I guess he heard me pronounce the wrong name, and that was the end of that.
And the number 86 of Brandon White seems to be falling back a little bit. I'm thinking maybe the strategy here is for Brandon White is he got that bonus point, maybe just save those tires and maybe hope on a long run here, and maybe he can drive himself back through the field, as Daniel Danny has fallen back into the same thing. But maybe those 2 tires are really affecting him worse than I thought.
Yes. I don't know. Like I said, it's a little early. Maybe everyone's thinking that there's going to be another wreck, but Brandon making the move to the inside of his teammate here, Phil, and Brandon Barkuski takes the lead.
Barkuski moves into the lead. Brandon out here leading his first laps in the number 25 Miller Lite machine. Bedford's right there, though, and here comes Bransky in the 03. He's been looking strong in the last few laps.
Yes. Good move from Brandon here, trying to have a good race, obviously coming off a couple of tough races for that 25 machine, and makes the pass and will now retain the lead. That's also a bonus point for him, as we have had a lot of different leaders today.
Insert Jaws music. Here comes Watchhorn. Watchhorn's about to enter the top 5 already in the number 54. He has so much speed. Look at him down there. He's going to try to clear Austin Moore, possibly coming out of the corner.
Like I said, that's the thing with Merrick and that Twiggy Chevrolet. Just fight, 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 never give up. And obviously, he's had to come flying through the field twice now. And here he comes. If I were to put a bet on who's going to win this race, obviously, no offense to anyone, but it would have to be Merrick. He has been nothing but strong this whole race.
Commentator curse is now on Merrick Watchhorn. You heard it here first, folks. Merrick Watchhorn is the next to go to the commentator curse. So keep an eye on him.
Yeah, as I'm sure that Elliott, there's going to be some net code and someone's going to wreck, because, I'm just going to stop talking, because the second I say, wow, look, someone's going to win, they just wreck. So the commentator curse in the Great Lakes series is unreal. It happens about 3 times every race. So to all the drivers out there, if we ever say something positive about you, fear for your whole race in life, because we're bad luck.
Some hard battling here between Watchhorn and Austin Moore for the 4th spot. Elliott Henderson right there behind him, looking to find some space, but he has nowhere to go. A little early to be trying 3 wide here, as Watchhorn continues to battle on the inside of Austin Moore. He tries to clear him off the corner, but he wasn't able to. He might try to sneak in between Elliott and Austin, but he won't be able to as well. And he continues to fight on that inside. Austin Moore dives down low now.
Like I was saying earlier, Austin Moore strong at Kansas. We have a lot of strong drivers right now. Really, I'd say as it sits right now, I believe everyone in this top 5 has a valid shot at winning this race. Phil Bedford has been strong week in and week out in this Cup Series, just hasn't been able to finish it off. Jake Bransky, very strong.
Contact, there's Watchhorn. There it is. Gavin.
Yep.
Gavin.
Yeah, we called it. I told you we called it.
Oh, man. Merrick continues on, though, for now. We're going to see how that damage possibly affects on the number 54 machine. Looks like he has very slight right front damage.
Yeah, just taking a quick look at it, I don't believe it'll be anything too detrimental. We saw Elliott Henderson with that same type of damage as he hit the wall, and Elliott's obviously hanging tough there in 5th, so, good for him so far.
Watchhorn still battling it out on that inside, trying to stay in front of Zachary Henry and Christopher Heller. Christopher Heller, our points leader, he's looked so strong in every single race this season, the number 11 machine. It looks like these guys are going to get by him on the high side.
Yeah. As cutting to a quick replay here of the incident, just taking a quick look here as we see Merrick enter the corner. As we see him, as we cut away from that replay, as America now battles Chris Heller, or continues to battle Chris Heller, as obviously everyone right now, obviously, Chris, take this as a compliment, buddy, but everyone is trying to beat Heller. It's the world versus Heller, because everyone knows that Heller has a huge points lead right now, and if anyone wants a shot at it, they're gonna have to take bites out of that lead slowly but surely in the last 6 races here.
The only way that Heller's really going to lose this points lead is if somebody starts winning a bunch of races, or if Heller starts making mistakes. If Heller keeps on doing what he's doing, running around 5th spot every week, it should be easy. It should be an easy runaway for him for the championship, especially with RJ Williams having the troubles he had today. I see you in the chat, RJ. It really sucked to see that incident, but we hope to see you out there next week dominating.
Chris Heller, obviously out of Ohio there. Good run of him. And who's that on the apron? Oh, that's a damaged car. I thought that was a lead lap car. I'm like, what's he doing down there? But
yeah, LaFrance in that number 19 with a lot of damage. Looked strong early in the race, but incidents have really plagued him.
As getting a look up front here, Jake Bransky and Brendan Barkuski look to be in a bit of a scuffle here, as Brendan keeps peeking his nose low on that 03, but it will not stick.
Looking at Bransky in that number 03 machine, having a good run today. Bransky looking to get a top 5, maybe even a top 3 and compete for the victory. But Bedford's looked really strong here today. The only one that's really been able to touch him has been Watchhorn. But now Watchhorn's way back after that incident with Elliott.
As Austin Moore looking to make a move on Brandon after that battle with Bransky finished. As Phil Bedford just pulling a big lead here.
At Kansas, the top groove is stronger because there's just more grip up there. The cars just grip better up there. You can do the inside. That's more at like the beginning of the run. You have to kind of pull slide jobs and do a bunch of extra stuff to try to make passes. It's very difficult to pass at Kansas unless someone leaves the high side open.
Yes, and even like the draft, like obviously Phil is in clean air and with no damage, or not, pardon me, not no damage, but like no draft, and he's still faster than, you know, Bransky and Brandon right now. So I don't even think the draft's gonna help these guys. I think Phil is just wheeling that thing right now.
I think it's really all going to come down to tires. If we can get a long green flag run, these tires have about 20 laps on them right now. I think they're around halfway through the run, maybe a little bit under halfway through the run right now. So I'm wondering how Bedford's tires could possibly fall off. Maybe he's using those tires a little bit more than Bransky and Barkuski and all these guys back here.
Yeah, as we'll see that at the end of the run here. But as it stands right now, Phil Bedford is the man to beat right now.
Yeah, very impressive run from Phil. Phil's had a lot of good qualifying runs, and during these races, he's ran very well, but he doesn't have the finishes to show for it necessarily. I think he's had some winning cars and at least some podium cars so far this season. But Bedford just hasn't really shown the results so far, but it's looking to get a good finish here today. Kansas, he looks very strong as he continues to pull away from Bransky.
Yep. Back to what I was saying earlier before we got cut off with some action on track. Everyone in this top 5 has shown a lot of speed and a lot of promise so far. As obviously, like I was saying, you know, Phil, like we were just talking about, Phil's been absolutely dominant all race here. No one's been in the same zip code or same anything. You know, Jake Bransky obviously putting together a pretty good run for himself there in the second position. Brandon got out front and led a couple laps. Austin Moore, very strong at Kansas, obviously, and Elliott Henderson, strong everywhere, with a week in, week out a threat to win.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And don't count out Christopher Heller. He's in 7th. He's stalking these guys. And Zachary Henry, your pole sitter, he's looking pretty strong here today too. I think it's a wide open race here today in Kansas, and that's what I love about this racetrack. I think it's ultimately going to come down to strategy and tires. As you see Nick Martin making a move on your points leader, Christopher Heller going into turns 3 and 4.
As Heller looking to the inside of his teammate there. Is he going to clear him on the apron? I believe he will, and yes, he will, as Heller moving up into the 7th position here.
An update on your 2-tire guys, the guys that started on row number 1 on this last restart, Brandon White and Daniel Nanny. Very disappointing. Those 2 tires just really haven't played into their advantage, as Brandon White has fallen back to the 12th spot and Daniel Nanny has fallen back to the 13th spot. Like I said earlier, strategy is a big part here in Kansas, and that's what got him up to the front earlier. So it's still a long race. We're just about to get to halfway. I can definitely see Brandon White and Daniel Nanny back up at the front before this race is over, as you look at Jacob Bransky.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, we're just now approaching halfway, as we just hit halfway. So, you know, obviously a lot of race left here, and a lot's already happened. So who even knows what could go on right now? Who's to say that, you know, Phil doesn't spin out or something like that, or, you know, obviously cautions or fuel strategy. I don't know what the fuel window is and what the possible fuel strategy could be. Maybe over to Alex on that one.
Well, one of the big problems with fuel saving is that it depends on where you are in the pack. For Phil Bedford, our leader here, with no draft to help him out, he'll be on the throttle much longer than everybody else. And I'm predicting that the fuel window will be anywhere from 42 to 45, maybe 46 laps, depending on how well they can save fuel.
So they're getting pretty close on that run, as they're around almost 30 laps into this fuel run. So very interested to see when they're going to make that stop. Maybe some guys making some early stops, maybe some making some later stops, depending on when you want those tires and what type of risk you're willing to take. As Brandon Barkuski continues to threaten Bransky for that 2nd spot. But as I say that, it looks like he got a little up into the marbles there going into 3 and 4. As all these guys are beginning to close in on Bedford, guys.
Phil that time ran a 32.2, and Bransky also ran a 32.2. So they're pretty even on lap time, as Phil Bedford approaching the lap car Matt Daniels there. So I don't really quite know what's going on here. It's really just gonna depend on the draft and who can work together, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle to understand sometimes. Is sometimes you have to just get in line and ride and work together with the guy, or else both of you are gonna fall back. I know that happens a lot in officials, and even sometimes in these league races. Like, everyone's just so focused on the short term that they forget about the long term, and the leader just pulls away, as we see Zachary Henry trying to out-muscle Elliot Henderson on that outside line. Is Elliot will now also run into the lap car Matt Daniels as he tries to get a bit of his draft, as it will not work, as it looks like Elliot Henderson might be in trouble here on the inside.
I don't know. I really think that Henderson's damage is affecting him, because you see the right side of that nose just like sticking up a little bit. I expected Elliot to be a little bit quicker here today. I really think that damage has to be affecting him a little bit, as Zachary Henry passes him on the outside. And now Heller's going to get past him on the outside, and now Elliott looks really tight down there, and Dickinson's going to get past him as well, and Elliott's going to fall all the way back to the 9th spot. 8th spot, I mean.
As tough day for Elliott, obviously. He was extremely fast. He came up through the field. I believe he qualified 9th, and he, you know, drove up to 5th and was hanging up out there before that incident with Merrick. So, you know, it sucks to see Elliott having a bad day, as that damage is basically like a parachute dragging that car back as it tries to cut through the air. So part of me wonders if on those pit stops he didn't fix all the damage. So maybe on one of these pit stops, hopefully he'll get it squared away and we'll be perfectly set up for the rest of the race.
Elliott would definitely need another caution. You see Austin Moore, he's really trying to get the fastest way around the racetrack, as you saw a little dirt come up from under those tires right there. He was a little bit in the grass coming to the tri-oval right there. He's trying to get everything he can out of this 91 machine.
Austin obviously pushing extremely hard, as, you know, he hasn't been around all the races. He's still running for cup points, but he hasn't made all the cup races. So, you know, a big win for him tonight here could mean really good things for that point situation.
Austin Moore's looked really strong all season, every race that he's been in. And he's looking even stronger tonight, as I think he might have something for Bedford, as he's been pretty strong on this run. been just hanging out behind Barkuski and Bransky, and all these guys are every once in a while. Bedford's making a little mistake here and there, and these guys are just inching closer and closer to Bedford.
As you know, I think Phil might have killed his tires there, as he's just, you know, really that lead's just getting like bitten into every lap after lap. Phil running a 32.3, as Bransky running a 32.3 as well. So I don't, you know, I'm not, it looks like it on the track, but the times aren't showing me that you know, Bransky is faster than Phil here. So I'm interested to see how it'll go out, and I know we're approaching green flag pit stop, so I'm sure that will throw a wrench in everyone's plans.
Green flag pit stops coming up real soon, as we're almost 40 laps into this run. So we're going to be approaching pit stops really soon. We're going to probably have pit stops within the next 5 to 10 laps. But I expect when that first guy comes down pit road, that everyone's going to come down pit road. But you also have to think about it. This race goes to lap 125, so you have to have enough laps to make it to the finish. That'll be around lap 80, I'm thinking. Alex?
Yeah, that'd be a more accurate lap time to where they're going to be pitting. I'd say anywhere from lap 81 to 85, depending on where you are in your own personal fuel situation. However, we see somebody like Matt Daniels says he's going to be pitting in. However, he's one of our back runners, could just be having damage issues altogether.
Yeah, a very tough day for Matt Daniels. A lot of damage to that number 5 machine driving the Casey Kane paint scheme. As you see him coming down pit road, you hate to see it. Matt Daniels definitely has shown some speed here and there this season, but just can't avoid some of these accidents. Been a lot of craziness so far in the Great Lakes Series. As you see, Phil Bedford continues to lead the field. Bransky not too far behind him. These guys are really beginning to line up.
Something I just noticed about the fuel window and the lap that we're going to be on when they're going to be pitting is that they would only have to make one pit stop to make it to the finish. So this will be, if it stays green, our one and only green flag pit stop.
Should be a great one. It's really going to be on the timing of your stop. Who's going to be the first one down? Who's going to be the last one down? Will we get a caution in between the pit cycle? Should get really crazy here in Kansas here in a few laps. As Bedford continues to lead. He's been really dominant today. Bransky not too far behind him in that second spot. Then you got Barkuski in third. Austin Moore's in fourth. Zachary Henry's back there in fifth. Heller's in sixth. Dickinson's in seventh. Watchorn's moved up to eighth. And Elliot Henderson continues to fall. He's in the ninth position. And then Nick Martin rounds out your current top 10.
Nick Martin also seems to be struggling quite a bit on like the back half of this run here, so a lot of those Toyotas are definitely beginning to struggle here late in the run as Phil Bedford pulls away.
Yeah, Nick Martin has a lot of nose damage to that 42 machine. I'm not sure when he got that. Might have happened on this last restart or something. But he continues on. A lot of damage to that 42. Looking to have a good run here today as he's currently running in the top 10. Here comes Watchorn. Watchorn's going to come down pit road, and we have our first taker.
Merrick obviously probably ate up a good chunk of those tires, trying to make up a lot of time. So, you know, coming down early, trying to get maybe a bit of a jump here on all those guys. If you're within the fuel window, why not come? You got to bring it to them.
Merrick's looked so strong tonight. I feel like this is his one chance to really give him a victory here tonight, unless we get some cautions. As the leaders continue to stay out, Bedford, Bransky, and Barkuski all skipped by that last time. Austin Moore as well.
You know, I gotta wonder when Phil and Bransky are gonna come. Is Phil gonna come like by himself? Is he gonna be followed? Like, this is what I love about these long green flag runs is the pit strategy. Do you come in early like Merrick and you know, get the track position, or do you come in later? I've noticed a bit that coming in early seems to have a lot more benefits than coming in later. So who knows? It ain't over till it's over. But Phil Bedford, I think is going to lead the charge down pit road. Sorry to cut you off there, Kyle.
Oh, you're all good. In most cases, I would say pitting later is your best bet. But here at Kansas, like I mentioned earlier, if you're not on the high side, it's so hard to pass. So if Merrick Watchhorn maybe holds the high side, maybe even squeezes some guys, maybe roughs up some feathers a little bit, I think he can win this race because he's going to have a lot more speed than these leaders on those fresh tires as the leaders once again skip past pit road that last time by.
Guys, it just depends on how well Merrick can like handle those tires, right? If he can't handle the tires and burns them all up, he's not gonna have any fight at the end of the race, like we saw Nick Martin at Kentucky last week. You know, you can come in early and gain the track position, but it's a matter of, you know, being extremely consistent. You have to baby those tires a lot in order for this strategy to work. But you know, Merrick's got it in him to do it. I think he's got a good shot here, but it's all just going to depend on how late Phil and Bransky and Barkowski and all them stay out.
I'm sorry, I have to barge in here. The problem with Merrick Watchhorn's pit time is that I don't believe he'll make it on fuel, at least going at a standard pace. I believe he should be around 2 to 3 laps short on fuel, making him have to save a good amount.
It's a very interesting call from Merrick. He might know something that we don't up here in the booth. He might have his own little strategy going on as everyone still is on track. Oh, no, right when I say that, our race leader, Phil Bedford, said that he's coming in this time by. Here comes the number 20.
And like I said, I believe Phil Bedford is going to be bringing a lot of cars in with him as Bransky comes in right behind him, Austin Moore behind them. Who's going to follow? Nathan Nicholson, who's a lap down, Zachary Henry, Spencer Dickinson, Josh Cottle, Aaron Duclos, Daniel Nanny, all following the leader down into pit road.
You saw Barkowski skip past pit road in the number 25. Now what he's really hoping for is he hopes that there's a caution that he can get in front of as many of these guys as he possibly can, and he stays out as long as he can, and he gets a caution. And that might be his best chance to win this race, that number 25 machine, as he's looked like he's had a top 3 car all night. But like I said, no one's really had anything for Bedford, so it's going to ultimately come down to strategy. As you see these guys exit pit road, Phil Bedford able to beat out Bransky and Austin Moore. The number 25 of Barkowski has now came down.
Yeah, I think Brandon, I don't think Brandon staying out there was more of a strategy call. I think it was him not being comfortable with pit road. It felt like he might not have been in the right line or had enough notice, if you know what I mean. And he just didn't feel comfortable hitting pit road, didn't want to cause a wreck or spin himself out, so he'd just come a lap later as it won't cost him an absurd amount of time.
It's going to be really close between Watchhorn and Bedford, but it looks like Bedford, through this pit cycle, is still going to be in front of Watchhorn, just barely. Great effort from Watchhorn, but now he has 6 lap older tires than these guys, so now he's going to begin to drop as Bransky passes by him on the inside.
Yeah, as you know, that's basically the battle for the lead right there, and Merrick just seems out of shape. So I think maybe Merrick thought he was gonna gain some time, maybe coming early. I don't know, but you know, Merrick did leapfrog Austin Moore and Brandon Barkowski and Zachary Henry, so you know, he still gained a couple spots. It's just really up to if he can hold on to it for the last 40 laps here.
And you see how much just coming 1 lap later affected Barkowski, because he's not even in this battle anymore, as he's way far back of Austin Moore and these guys. He's almost 1.5 seconds, almost 2 seconds behind Austin Moore. So just coming 1 lap later really changed things for the 25. And Bransky's still right there when it comes to Bedford. I think he has the best shot of getting Bedford here today.
Guys, you know, Bransky, they've been 1-2 all race. Maybe Bransky's you know, saving those tires, or just really been keeping it in the back of his mind is, you know, when Bransky was up there, it's probably out of reach for Bransky to lead the most laps. And obviously if he wins the race, he gets a point for the most lap, or pardon me, for a lap led. So, you know, maybe Bransky's probably just, you know, taking it easy, not trying to push the envelope, not push the issue, hope Phil burns up his stuff and have something for him at the end here.
Phil looking real strong. Like I said earlier, he's been He's had a really strong car in every race this season, but just doesn't have quite the finishes to show for it. He does have 2 top 5s, but I really think he should have already had a win already, as he's been so strong all season. But he has Bransky right behind him, threatening him to take away this win with only a few laps left. Only got around 35 laps to go here.
As a strong battle for the race lead here as there goes Bransky, really coming with a charge there, running a 31 flat that time around, and Phil Bedford running a 31.2, so 0.2 faster, or 0.02 faster, sorry, that last lap. So maybe Bransky's putting his cards down on the table now. Maybe I lied. Maybe everyone's just gonna do the opposite of what I say.
Yeah, we've seen Bedford kind of just pull away at the beginning of each of these runs. Maybe Bransky's trying something a little different. Bransky's taking a little easy on these runs and come on late. Maybe he's trying to get in front of Bedford. Like I said, it's so hard to pass here. I feel like his best opportunity to get by is at the beginning of the run. It really tightens up later in the run, so it's going to be really difficult to get by on that inside late.
And I really think that Bransky's really either his best bet is get a better run than Phil off the corner and pass him high on the straightaway, or throw it in deep and hope for a slide job. Is Bransky's gonna look to the inside here of him off the corner. Does he have it in him? They're gonna be side by side on the back stretch as they approach the lap car of Lewis Woodall here. Wonder how that's gonna go. Is Bransky's gonna try to go all the way down to that white line. Phil's gonna rip the top. Does Bransky clear him off the corner? Jacob Bransky trying to pull a slide job.
Slide job and a crossover move from Bedford. What a move!
Does Phil have it in him though?
And this is some great racing here in Kansas. Bransky's now the one on the high side, and Bedford's down low. Bedford hasn't been threatened most of the day.
Does Phil throw the slide job? No, he doesn't have it in him. Does he do it again this time around?
This is where Bransky got by him last time, but Bedford thinks better of it. He backs off for now. Gonna make another charge at it possibly, as Bransky now has the lead by around a car length and a half in the 03.
Jake Bransky with a late race charge here to take the lead from Phil Bedford. Does he have it in him to hold him off now? Is Phil looking with a good run there? A 31.5 and a 31.4 from Bransky. So Bransky did pull on him that last lap. And that was what a pass is all I have to say from Bransky. What a just perfect slide job, perfectly executed, perfectly set up, just perfect. That is how you do a proper slide job, ladies and gentlemen. All the people and officials take notes. That's how you properly do it.
I can hear Dale Jr. like, slide job, slide job. I can hear it now. Bransky looking to hold on to the lead. Bedford's right there. Bransky makes a simple mistake. Bedford's going to get by him, and they're approaching Lewis Woodall. Lewis Woodall isn't going that slow. He's only going around 0.2 slower than these guys. So I'm interested to see if he maybe puts up a fight a little bit to Bransky. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. He's currently the last guy on the lead lap in that number 29 Pepsi machine.
Yeah, as realistically, I don't think he puts a fight up. There's no real reason to, right? Lewis is a lap down. He's not claiming cup points. He's claiming points for the truck series on Tuesday nights. If I'm Lewis right now, and obviously I'm not gonna like randomly pull off on the backstretch and stop, but once the leaders get to me, I'd most likely be courteous and get up out of the way, go down low, just get out of the way of this incredible battle here. As Bransky and Bedford are within like inches of each other's lap times, as we got a battle for third developing here between Brandon Barkuski and Austin Moore.
Here comes Barkuski. That number 25 machine. Barkuski came in 1 lap later, so those tires are a little bit fresher. Makes a difference here at Kansas. And here comes Barkuski as he's driven down Austin Moore. He was on 2 seconds back at the end of the pit cycle, and now he's cleared the number 91, but the 91 Austin Moore is going to try a crossover as he jumps to the inside. But I don't think he's going to be at his corner panel going into 1. Almost contact coming out of the tri-oval.
As Brandon's been running that middle groove, defending that 91 car, so just what a battle as Brandon seems to clear him here.
Yeah, they're battling it out for that third spot. This could possibly end up being a battle for the win, because you have Bedford and Bransky. Both of them are very hungry for a win. What if these guys get into it? We've seen it happen here before in the Great Lakes Series. These guys are approaching a lot of lap cars, I'd like to note. There's a whole gaggle of lap cars right in front of them. You see them there on your screen right in front of these guys. Look at all those lap cars. This is going to get crazy. And Lewis Woodall is actually pulling away from these guys because he came into the pits a little bit later, so he's actually putting a little bit of distance between Bransky and Bedford right now.
As you know, as he should. He doesn't want to go a lap down, and he's probably still racing some cars for position. As we see Scott Stewart there on the inside. That's actually Scott Stewart this time, not the 86.
Scott Stewart sighting.
Yeah, Scott Stewart sighting. Look, there he is.
Very tough day for Scott Stewart. A lot of damage to that nose. He's just trying to get as many points as he possibly can as he's running in the 20th position in that number 26. And these leaders are approaching these lap cars quick. Kyle Munson, Lewis Woodall, Hunter Madalinas, Drew Cox. A lot of these drivers have been really fast today, like Drew Cox, Madalinas. These guys are really fast every week. So this should get really interesting as also these guys are battling for position.
Yeah, as you know, the lap cars in this league are usually pretty courteous, pretty good. Not too many wrecks or issues I can say this season that have been caused by, you know, lap cars. So, you know, you gotta let them have their time still. Like, they're still racing, they're still battling for position with each other here. So you just gotta let them have at it.
Yeah, and that's where it gets wild. Some of these lap cars might be battling 2-3 wide when Bedford and Bransky pull up. So this could get really interesting. Bedford's right there. He hasn't let Bransky pull away at all. He's maintained around a car length gap the whole time. He's right there.
As you know, those two, I think those two have mostly settled down. Phil's probably trying to save his stuff a little bit for Bransky here for a late charge to the front. So I don't know, maybe Phil's trying to do the reverse of what Bransky did there. But as it stands right now, Jake Bransky seems to be the car to beat. To be fair, we said that about Phil and he got beat. So who knows? I'm sure it's shaping up to be a fantastic race here.
I've been watching Phil these last few laps. I feel like Phil looks like he has a little bit more speed than Bransky right now. But I think he's waiting to approach those lap cars and maybe use one of them as a pick. And then at that point, he's not going to look back in that number 20 machine as these guys are approaching lap cars. So he's going to have to get up there quick and try to make a move.
Yes, we have a battle for fifth going on right now between Zachary Henry and Chris Heller. Or we just missed it, but there was a battle going on between Zachary Henry and Chris Heller as those two fought for fifth position.
Look at Kyle Munson. He's right there in front of Bransky. Maybe taking some air a little bit away from that number 03. And Bransky got a little bit in the wall there in 3 and 4, but he's able to keep it straight, not lose too much time. Just rubbed a little bit of paint off.
I don't see any damage on that car either, Kyle.
Bransky looking good in that 03, but Munson and Madalinas are neck and neck right in front of him, so this might get interesting. Does Bransky wait, or did he try to make it 3 wide? Looks like Madalinas is going to back off a little bit and let Munson have the spot.
That's the Grand Rapids, Michigan native trying to close out the win here at Kansas. These lap cars aren't helping him that much. The only reason I see like the lap cars being a benefit is maybe the draft, but even then, you know, Phil has Bransky's draft, so why you know, why bother? And the hand out the window for Madalinas here as he tells Bransky, take the high side. I'm gonna go low and get out of the way like a smart person now.
Madalinas gets a little bit out of the way there in the corner, comes back up off the corner. And these guys are closing in on Munson in the number 40 machine. Munson was being a little bit aggressive back there, and he got himself some spots, and he has a little bit of distance between himself and Bransky as he maybe tries to stay on the lead lap, hoping for a caution.
Yeah, that's really all you can do is, you know, if I'm Munson right now, is I'm just pushing, hoping for a yellow here. As it's really all it is, you know, all the cars have mostly spaced out right now. That battle for third subsided. That battle for fourth and fifth subsided, or yeah, that battle for fourth and fifth, my apologies, subsided. And really after that, it's just a single file line. Spencer Dickinson trying to wheel and catch Elliot Henderson, but that seems to be no dice. And Merrick Watchhorn running around in ninth still.
We got 20 laps to go here in Kansas. Bedford is not letting Bransky out of his sight as these guys are approaching a couple more laps. Oh, right when I say that, the caution. And this will change everything as there's a caution here in Kansas. Oh my goodness, and it looks like Drew Cox has spun it around on the backstretch. He just got lapped a few laps ago. Wow.
So this changes things a little bit, eh?
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, it's just wow, what a turn of events.
I'm gonna try to get you a replay on that caution flag for Drew Cox. You see him already in mid-spin. I'm hearing that he actually kind of just hit the apron and just kind of lost it. Drew Cox on really old tires as he last came in, I think on lap 81. So he's on older tires than your race leaders by a few laps. We're gonna see a look at it here as, oh, here we go. This might be it right here as you look at Drew Cox in the number 22 machine.
Yeah, as you see, he's behind Phil there, and he comes off the corner. As he was waiting for the next corner here, just seeing how close he was. I bet Phil probably needed a couple new pairs of pants after seeing that in his mirrors. Yeah, Drew just gets it in really deep there. You see him almost brush the wall, and he just comes down to the apron. It's not going to be this corner.
Leaders are down pit road right now while we try to figure out the replay there. Let's see who's going to be first out. This is the money stop right here. Who's going to be the first out? Do we maybe possibly see some two-tire strategies here? Bransky looks like he might be out first. The number 03 is going to pull out, and here comes Bedford. It's close, and Bedford edged him out. Money stop from the number 20 machine. Phil Bedford is now your race leader. That is huge.
Changes. That's wow. Good stop there from Phil. Phil owes that one to his crew, 100%. And now with, I believe it'll probably be 15 or 16 laps to go here when we take the green flag. Phil's set. Phil's just got to drive it out right now, I believe. With Brandon Barkuski in third, if Phil plays his cards right, he'll have a teammate behind him.
This is going to get real wild. Bedford, I've never seen someone drive out of their pit box so hard. He was sideways coming out of his pit box, having the second pit box on pit road. That great placement puts him right near the exit of pit road, and it was just pure money as he beat him by probably just less than a nose. Really close off pit road between him and Bransky, and that is huge. And you see Barkuski back there in third. I'm real interested to see what he does on this upcoming restart.
Yes. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I'm not saying anything because, commentators curses. We finally get a view of Drew Cox there. It seems just based off that replay, he just loses it off the corner, locks the brakes down. To be fair, that is the smart thing to do. Nothing against Drew. Obviously, sometimes stuff happens. As you see him here, he seems to get up close to the wall. He just slams the apron and around he goes. Maybe had a tire go down. I don't know how old Drew's tires were. Maybe a mechanical failure or something on his end, but I'm surprised that was I'm surprised iRacing called that a caution. He was on the apron right out of the way of everyone. So that really a rough deal there. So
we're going to look to see if we're going to get the one to go this time by, see if the lights are going to go out on the pace car. Interested to see if Bedford's going to take the high side or the inside. Watching the pace car to see if the lights go out. And they do. And let's see where Bedford picks. It looks like he might pick the inside. That's where he's currently at.
Yeah, Phil's taking the inside there. I think, like I said earlier in the race, when him and I believe it was Chris Heller got together, or well, not got together, but worked together on the restart. I believe it's the same thing here with Brandon. You want your teammate behind you to get that good push off the start. Bransky got Austin Moore behind him, so it'll be an interesting restart here. Maybe Brandon pushes Bedford clear, and now he'll have a shot at the win.
This should be a very exciting last 15 laps here in Kansas. So if you're gonna share that link, share it now here on Split Second Broadcasting for the Great Lakes Cup Series, brought to you by Butt Kicker. I'd like to also mention that the track cams for tonight are brought to you by Track Cams for Gourmets. That's Track Cams for Gourmets. Go to trackcams22.com for your iRacing custom cameras. We're about to go green flag racing. 15 laps to go. Phil Bedford leads the field after coming out of pit road first. The number 20 machine's going to lead him down as the pace car pulls off. We're going to go green flag racing, possibly for the last time here in Kansas. Green flag is out, and a good restart from Bedford and Barkuski and Heller. Bransky was not ready, and Bransky was first before the caution. Now he finds himself back in fourth.
Rough start there, but, you know, still 15 to go here. It's still a long races. Brandon Barkuski making a move on his teammate on the inside. Will he clear Phil here off
And
the
3
corner?
wide, and Bransky and Heller almost, sorry to interrupt you, but Bransky and Heller almost made huge contact off the corner. And look at Barkuski. I was saying that's the guy to watch, and Brandon's up there in the lead.
And Bransky making a move to second here. He fell back to fourth, and now he's back to second. What a move by Bransky and Brandon. There's a lot of B's up here right now. And Bransky making a move up to block Phil there. As I'm really curious what lane choice everyone's thinking right now, is as Phil seems to get a little tight there and almost up into Bransky off of that corner. Everyone's a little wiggly off that corner. Wow.
Everyone's pushing it harder than they've pushed the whole entire race as we approach 13 laps to go, and Barkuski's trying to check out in that Miller Lite machine. 13 to go. Bedford and Bransky and Moore lined up behind him, and it's craziness from about 6th on back as Daniel Nanny's trying to make some spots up.
Just, I don't know. If you told me a couple laps ago that Brandon Barkuski had a legitimate shot to win this race, I don't think I would have believed you with how the race had gone. But there he is. He's hanging tough. He's got the lead, and you know, no one's sorting out behind him. Brandon's just like pulling along here while everyone side drafts each other back, especially in third right now between Bransky, Austin, and Elliott. And Elliott obviously having a good rebound here. That damage seeming to have either been fixed or not being a bit of a detriment on the short run, as Elliott will clear Bransky now and move up into fourth.
And as you were saying that, Bedford's closing in on Barkuski. Barkuski's giving up that high lane. I'm really confused on why he's doing that, because Bedford's making up a lot of time up there on these straightaways. He's just, look at that. Look how fast he's closing in on the straightaways as he's now on his bumper going into 1, and he's going to send it. He's all over his bumper going through 1 and 2. He might hit him coming off the corner. He's touching him. A little loose is Barkuski. This battle for the lead is getting very intense. Brandon Barkuski leads the field as they come to 10 laps to go. He once again gives up the high side.
You know, I think maybe he's trying to save some tires down there. Maybe he knows something we don't. It's just there's so many different strategies here when it comes to tire saving. From my understanding, that bottom saves a little bit more tire, but at the same time with you know 9, 10, 11 to go here, is it really worth it to save that tire and have that guy come right up to you? Or maybe Brandon doesn't have the confidence in himself to battle Phil properly. Not properly, but with that high line. You never know. It's just we won't really see, I think, what everyone has to offer till the final laps here, as we see Daniel Nanny charging through the field there, racing Nick Martin and Austin Moore for the 6th position. And he will clear all of them. Daniel Nanny coming with a late charge as Elliott makes a good catch.
Daniel Nanny looking very strong here late, and then number 45 machine as they continue to battle it out up there. Here comes Bedford. Bedford is considerably closing in, and there goes Watchhorn. Watchhorn is spinning off of 4. Oh man, the caution doesn't come out as Watchhorn is currently off the track, and now he's rolled back onto the track, and there's the caution. Not happy on the radio as Merrick Watchhorn is being told to calm down a little bit. A lot going on here in Kansas. Merrick had probably the strongest car, maybe other than Bedford here tonight. Definitely feel for him. I would love to take a look at that replay and see what happened there. Merrick Watchhorn, the Leesburg, Virginia native. Got a feel for him. Watchhorn will stay on the lead lap, though, so he'll be in the 16th position. So we're going to take a look at the replay. A lot of craziness right there. You saw going into 1 and 2. Elliot Henderson almost getting into the wall. Kind of backs up the field a little bit, it looks like. You see Austin Moore and Nick Martin right up behind him. And Merrick Watchorn and Lewis Woodall 3 wide. You have Zachary Henry, it looks like, on the high side. Josh Cottle as well. It just looks like they were going for the same space on the racetrack. Look at Watchorn turned down a little bit. Looks like Woodall may have turned up a little more than he turned down, but it looks like they're kind of going for the same space on the racetrack.
Yes. As we see Merrick doing his Tomater impression, world's best backwards driver. That looks like a cool photo if we could go back to that. But getting a look at the replay here, Lewis Woodall seems to get a little loose under him. Maybe sends Merrick up the track a little bit. That's just off of 1 and 2 there as we see where I believe the incident occurs in 3 and 4. Lewis Woodall there down to the inside. We see Nick Martin get a little bent out of shape, and yeah, as Lewis just gets turned around there and sandwiched between Josh Cottle as Merrick heads straight into the wall, down into the grass, just trying to hold on to it, prevent as much damage as possible, and you know, my opinion, Merrick doing the right thing there by rolling instead of slamming on the brakes. You know, if he slams on the brakes, that car snaps sideways, comes back onto the racing surface. Could end a lot worse than, you know, just rolling. He had control of the car. He knew what he was doing, so we're going to have I believe it might be a natural green-white checkered here. I'm not too sure. I forget what lap we took the caution on, but we'll see here is Brandon Barkowski. What do you guys think? Do you think he's in the best spot or the worst spot right now?
I think if you lead on this restart, as long as you clear whoever's to your outside or your inside going into 1, as long as you stay mistake-free from that point out, I think you really have it in the bag. Unless someone wants to get real aggressive with you and just send it. Phil Bedford, I know, was really hungry for this win, so I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe sends it in there and maybe gets a little rough with Barkowski. That's what I would do if I were in his position. He's been dominant here today.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Gavin on that. I'm sorry, agree with Kyle on that one. The leader's jump advantage on these restarts is just simply too big. Unless he get a monster move from Phil Bedford, I don't really see him winning this race with so few laps left.
Yeah, this should get very interesting. I think we're possibly going to get the green flag with either 3 or 2 laps to go here in Kansas. Interested to see if the lights are going to go out on the pace car this time by. Brandon Barkowski is your race leader. Looking strong here late. He's been running in the top 5 most of the day. Then you have Phil Bedford, who's led the most laps here today in 2nd. Jacob Bransky's there in 3rd, who was leading just 2 cautions ago, but because of pit stops, put him a little bit back. Christopher Heller's there in 4th, your points leader. And then Elliot Henderson has been fighting a little bit of damage all day, but he's been running around 5th or 6th most of the day. Looking at a replay here. Here comes Merrick. Looks like Merrick and Lewis weren't up. Looks like Merrick was not happy with Lewis at all. He just took him out under caution. Very frustrated Merrick. Got a feel for Merrick. He's had such a strong car here today.
You know, Merrick's had a very strong car almost every week, and
yeah, he has had his really strong car every week, but I feel like today was his best shot at a victory because I really felt like it was either him or Bedford that were going to win this race here today. And just because of Merrick's consistency, really able to run where he should finish, I was really leaning a little more towards Merrick, but he just wasn't able to really ever to take the lead away and just faced a lot of trouble here today as the lights are out on the pace car.
Getting ready to go here. It'll be 3 to go when we take the green flag here at Kansas for the Great Lakes Cup Series. And I think we're in for an amazing finish here.
Oh, this is going to be exciting. You have Barkowski and Bedford on the first row. You have Barkowski on the inside. Bedford's been so strong up high. I'm really feeling like if Bedford can stay on his outside and at least have a decent restart, he has a really good shot here because Barkowski's been really keen on that inside, and Bedford's been so fast up high. And don't count out Christopher Heller there in the 4th spot. Our points leader has been so good all season long. as the pace car pulls off, and we're going to get green flag racing with 3 laps to go. Barkowski goes immediately right when the pace car pulls off, and he's going to have
Fantastic jump from Barkowski.
has about a 3-car length advantage going into turn 1. I don't know how they're going to catch him now.
Well, maybe they're going to get in line, but maybe they won't. Jake Bransky still challenging Phil Bedford, mirroring the battle for the lead earlier, as they're going to be side by side. Bransky's going to have Elliott giving him a shove down the backstretch. Heller is not able to get to his teammate's bumper, as it looks like Elliott's going to be able to push Bransky clear as they both begin to close in on Brandon Barkowski.
And Bransky's going to try to pull a slide job on Bedford once again, but this time it doesn't work. A huge run from Bedford off the corner, and he might clear him going into 1, as these guys are trying to drive back down on Barkowski, as Barkowski's still right there within draft range as we have 2 laps to go. Will we stay green?
As Bransky looking to have a... Does he clear him here? I believe Bransky will clear him. Here they come. Brandon Barkowski versus Jake Bransky. I think that's how this race is going to end. As never mind, as Phil Bedford jumping to the top here with a good run on the outside.
White flag is out, and it looks like they're going to make it. This race is now official. Brandon Barkowski, your race leader. Bransky right there behind him. And then in third, Bedford. Phil Bedford's been so dominant here today. I think we might have a battle going into 3-4, because here comes Bransky off the corner.
Here they come down the backstretch. Does Bransky have anything left for the race leader of Brandon Barkowski? Chris Heller diving to the inside of Phil Bedford. Bransky trying to dig the top line. Looks like he will not get there. No one has a run. Brandon Barkowski, after an abysmal start to the season, will win the Great Lakes Cup Series race at Kansas.
Great job, Brandon Barkowski. Didn't have the fastest car, but strategy and just overall aggression put him in that position. Fantastic finish from the number 25. Poise, calm, and coolness from that 25 machine here today. And he deserves a fresh, cold Miller Lite after that.
Yes, fantastic drive from Brandon. He did what he had to do, took advantage of the cautions when it landed to him, and comes out the winner today.
And I really feel for Phil. Phil had the dominant car here today. And with circumstances, he ends up third. Number 20 machine of Phil Bedford definitely approaching that win here really soon, but unfortunately it was not Phil's day, but it was Brandon Barkowski's day. The Pennsylvania native wins the Everyone Loves Walmart 125 here at Kansas, and he's gonna burn it down for the fans here. Bransky gonna try to congratulate him, but almost hits him as he does donuts.
I believe that is Brandon's second win in the Cup Series, followed by Iowa last year, as he's gonna burn the house down here for the fans. Is well deserved from the 25.
Barkowski came into this race 10th in points, looking to make up some points on Christopher Heller, your points leader. Barkowski had a great day here today, able to maximize his points for the most part, able to get the victory here today. But Christopher Heller once again keeps up that top 5 streak, coming home 4th. 6 races, 6 top 5s for your points leader. We're going to maybe try to get you some interviews with your top 3 drivers here in a few moments. Alex, what do you think of the race out there today?
That was definitely an interesting one to see. We got a full fuel run out of it, which is great to see for this series. You love to see good long green flag runs with a bit of mixed in cautions just to spice it up a little bit. I'd say that was a great race overall.
Yeah, it's just a lot of comers and goers throughout the race. Obviously, Jacob Bransky, Phil Bedford dominated throughout the race. We saw Elliott Henderson make his dive up there. Merrick obviously having a strong run. Yeah, just a lot of strong cars up there. We saw the 86 come up through the field. Daniel Nanny lead a couple laps. Just, overall very healthy race here for the Cup Series. Is lots of different guys coming through the league.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting to see some new faces out there. Very exciting racing, some crazy accidents, a lot of strategy, about everything you would expect here at Kansas. But I'm going to send it down to Alex, which I think he might be with one of our top 3 finishers.
Yeah, let's get in Phil Bedford here. Hello. Phil Bedford led quite a few laps today, was in the fight pretty much the entire race for the lead. Looked to be the dominant driver early on, but sadly comes away with only a 3rd place finish at the end of the race. How was the race, Phil?
That was fun. I had a lot of fun. I got a little too nice at the end. I don't know why. It's not my thing, but I didn't want to block so soon, and it cost me.
Yeah, you had a great battle with Bransky there for a good while on that long green flag run. Let me ask you a little bit about that long green flag run. As the leader, what are you thinking as you have a guy right behind you pretty much the whole time?
Well, the one long green. Oh my God, I can't talk. That one that he got in front of me, I was actually gonna let him in front so I could draft and save some fuel because we were just on. But he actually almost took me into the wall, so that was kind of scary. But it was actually my plan to get behind him and save because I was right at the window, and I was able to save an extra lap of fuel, so I would have been good on that long run. And then the second to last run here, I felt when I didn't block Brandon, I felt like I would have got him at the end, but of course the caution always comes out at the end and screws me.
Yeah, that was definitely spiced us all up in the booth. We all shout out a sigh of "Oh my God" when the caution came out. When you got pretty much just a battle between two guys, do you want it to stay green just so you stay battling with that guy, even if you have a hard time passing him, or would you rather the caution come out, try and reset everything, and have the chaos help you to the front?
I'm a long run driver, so those always benefit me. These late cautions always screw me over.
Well, it seemed to have not helped you today, and you hate to see it.
Yeah, I just felt like I let off a little and looked like Bransky was pushing up on that last run, so I let up, and I don't know. I didn't want to take both of us out if third place is fine. But all in all, it's fun. I didn't have time to really practice all week until last night. So the rest of the guys, Brandon, Chris, and Nathan, they all helped me out last night. So I wouldn't have done this good without that. So I appreciate 2511.
Well, we appreciate you. And I think we're going to try to get our next finisher up here in the booth. I think we're going to try to get Brandon Barkuski, our race winner, up here in the booth. Brandon, great race out there, man. What was going through your mind on that last caution flag?
Oh man, just I kind of feel bad. Phil gave us a countdown on the one with the second to last caution, and I think he was a little bit too nice and kind of just left the bottom on the restart. And I flat out told him that I wasn't going to give a count for the final restart. I was going to go out there and try to win the race. But I think that was really just Phil being too nice. But with him being a really class act teammate, I think that's going to be something we file away and remember. If there's a chance we can pay the favor back, not going to forget that one tonight. Phil's a really good racer and definitely, in my opinion, had the best car at Atlanta and kind of got robbed. So that's really all I think of it. I think it was just right place, right time tonight.
Yeah, Phil's definitely coming close to that first win. He's looked really strong all season, so you got to feel for him. But you had just a great race on that last restart, and you had a fantastic win. What was going through your mind right before that last restart? Was that your intended move? What happened there?
Yeah, you mean just the one where I passed Phil? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, when you took the race lead, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Phil was going to be giving us a count. Heller was behind me on the bottom, so we were going to try to, get out there and gap. And I had a run on Phil, and he left the bottom open. And, I'm a race car driver, so if I see clean air, I'm going to run to it. And it worked, and we got by him. And we still raced pretty hard. Phil caught up to me the one time I got loose. I was almost sideways, and that was pretty scary. We were laughing when that happened. And I don't know. Track position's big here. We were kind of talking about that the whole race. So you kind of have to really get your stuff early. It's not that the tires really fade that quickly. It's that you just can't pass because you have to go to the top. And, if you try to go to the bottom, Merrick was probably the only guy who really was brave enough, and he was kind of making it work early in the race. he would just go to the bottom. And you have those slide job people, and it's really dangerous because you're risking taking a guy's nose off, or if you don't get him, losing 3-4 spots. That's just the big thing. So that was my intentions. Just get out there and start running from them because they're going to have the draft and they're going to be trying to pass you and catch you. So that was really all it was. But happy I kind of got this tonight. The cool thing about racing is, last week obviously made a boneheaded judgment mistake on the hit and hunter after getting frustrated, just getting taken out so early. Definitely shouldn't have done that. So 100% apologize to him, took my penalty. And cool thing about racing is you get to redeem yourself. You're seeing Kyle Larson do it in real life. And guess I kind of got a small taste of that tonight too. So it was cool to be able to do that. It feels really good. I love a lot of these guys in this league, and that behavior was definitely unacceptable last week. And can't let frustration beat you. So we're just gonna keep going out here and try to be redeeming our reputation the rest of the season now.
A great redemption race from you, Brandon, after the tough race last week at Kentucky. Came into this race 10th in points, making up a lot of points tonight. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight, Brandon?
Yeah, every single person at 2511 Racing, top down. Just Chris running the team with me. Phil, he's one heck of a teammate. Seriously, Nick Martin, he's probably one of the funniest people I know, and he's been kicking butt out here. He's not even an oval racer by trade, and he's really impressed a bunch of us. His improvement's been, I feel like, not even really talked about or noticed, and I'm really proud of Nick and what he's been doing. And Nicholson is just the road ringer who's just had a couple bad luck races here. So all those guys are awesome. But and thank you guys too. Can't wait to go back and watch this.
Well, we appreciate it up here in the booth, Brandon. We've definitely seen that improvement out of Nick. Now go out there and celebrate with some Miller Lights, Brandon.
Yeah.
Congrats on the win, bro.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Brandon.
Good race tonight.
I think we might have Alex back here.
Yeah, I'm back. It seems to be my PC decided that it did not wish to talk to anybody today. However, I say nay. I need to talk to some important people. Like, for example, Jacob Bransky, who's here right now. Jacob, great race, good finish in second, and I mean, what'd you overall think of the race?
Oh my god, is my mic not working? Oh god.
We hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, we got
okay. Alright, overall, I thought it was a great race. Started 13th, made our way up to the front, and then, like, we were running really good. I thought we were pretty much set, besides Phil was, like, right on me the whole time, but got that caution with, like, 20 to go. And then I knew it was going to be hard because we were all going to be drafted and stuff. But then, like, on, like, the last restart, I ended up getting really pushed back, but then I still made it back up to second. So, I mean, it was a good race, and yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the one long green flag run. You went through a whole run with Phil Bedford out front. You guys get into the pits, you come back out, and then you pull this big slide job on Bedford and just barely sneak in front of him. I mean, I got to ask you a little bit about what it was like to try and pass somebody on those green flag runs.
I mean, yeah, I knew I had to make a pass on him in the beginning because it's like so hard to pass like on the long run once the tires wear off. So I was just like pushing it like as hard as I could basically during like when the tires were like still fresh. And then made an opportunity and I just slid on by him. I don't think he was too happy about that, but I knew I had to do what I had to do, and it was a clean pass at the end of the day. So yeah.
We did notice a little bit of radio chatter from that move, but hey, you took the lead. You're out front. You're leading. You're keeping Bedford behind you, and then that caution comes out. What's the thoughts?
Yeah, my thought the caution came out. I knew I had to try and stay on the inside and just basically just push as hard, just like everybody else is doing, but try and stay up. And Brandon got up front really fast basically, and he was just like the only one. Me and Phil were still battling, and there was nothing much I could do really.
That was definitely a big meaty move from Barkuski to get past you guys, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you were even thinking about it, but Barkuski had actually pit late on that long run, and it was starting to run you guys down up until that point. So I mean, were you even thinking about anybody behind you except for
No,
Bedford?
because I saw that he was like I think they were like 2 or 3 seconds behind, so I I didn't really notice that he pit a lap after us, but yeah.
All right, well, here comes the most important question of them all. Who do you got to thank?
I'd like to thank my sponsors, Pib Extra and Hippies Chippies, Chevrolet, Camaro. Just thank the whole team basically, you know. And yeah, that's it. I'm a solo driver. I'm not in a team right now. So yeah.
Short, simple, and thanking the sponsors. Doing exactly what you need to do as a driver. All right, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for talking to us, Jacob Bransky. Good result, and hope to see you up here next week.
Yes, thank you guys.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the most NASCAR race you could possibly think of. I can't really think of how that could be any less NASCAR than that. So, boys, let's wrap up the show here. It was a good one.
Yeah, that was a
Yes.
fun race here tonight in Kansas. Always a lot of fun. You saw a lot of strategy, a lot of that high lane.
Yeah, just an overall exciting race. Like I said earlier, we had a lot of comers and goers throughout the race. A lot of strong drivers, a lot of strong cars out there today, and Brandon just pulled out the win like he should have. He was where he had to be, right place, right time, like you said, and that's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. And Brandon got the job done in that Miller Lite machine. He's probably already chugged about 2 or 3 Miller Lights by now, celebrating in victory lane in that 25 machine. So congratulations to Brandon Barkuski. Going to give you a quick top 10 rundown. Brandon Barkuski with the win. Jacob Bransky second. Phil Bedford in third. Your points leader, Christopher Heller, coming home fourth. Elliot Henderson with that damage, able to come home fifth. Austin Moore came home sixth. Your pole sitter, Zachary Henry, came home seventh. Josh Cottle came home eighth. Nick Martin came in the ninth position, and then Daniel Nanny rounds out your top 10 here for the Great Lakes Cup Series presented by Butt Kicker here at Kansas. And next week we'll be at my home track, Richmond Raceway. That should be a lot of fun. 175 laps. Looking forward to next week, Gavin.
Yeah, absolutely. Richmond, that half and half short track racing kind of deal. You know, some people are like, Richmond is a short track, but sometimes it just feels like an intermediate to me. That might be a bit of a controversial opinion, but I really like Richmond. You know, through the most part, through most of these Great Lakes races, Richmond's been good to us. We've had a good amount of good races there, and I'm looking forward to see what this Cup Series can bring next week.
As we enter the second half of the season of the Great Lakes Cup Series presented by Butt Kicker. 6 down, 6 to go. Next week at Richmond, same time, same place here in Split Second Broadcasting. And then Tuesday, we will be at Kansas for the Truck Series. So that should be a lot of fun. So tune in then as well. We will see you then, either Tuesday or Thursday. Good night, y'all, and thanks for tuning in. And once again, congratulations to Brandon Barkuski. Night.